Gut health.
Gut health.
And the microbiome. Interesting stuff.
Okay.
They've started talking about how our gut is our second brain. How literally we are what we eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how a lot of the serotonin that is produced in the body is, it's dependent on what we eat.
It comes from your gut. Yeah, so if you've got a happy gut, you should have a happy life.
We have three brains, physical brains. We have, the head, which is the master control center. We know that our quality of our nutrition is going to heavily affect its function, right? We've all had carbohydrate crashes. What is that doing to your brain function? It's fucking destroying it. But we all understand what it's like to consume regular alcohol and be less healthy versions of ourselves. Then cut that out and become healthy versions of ourselves, and how our brain and our function is there. Our body has three brains. The body is a brain. This is a sensory organ. Your physical self is going to dictate your gut and your brain. Right? And then we have a third brain, which is our emotional and spiritual reactions and environmentals. So they don't look like such an observable brain, but emotional and spiritual stress and misunderstanding can have a profound effect on our bodily functions. And therefore, they should be accepted as part of our ability to manifest intelligence, knowledge, and function. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So that's really where we come into this entire holder concept, right? Because the holder is that full spectrum. We talk about it like that, but our physical paradigms are the guts, the head, and the body. Right? The mental, I suppose, is the head as well.
So what do you think are some of the foods that are generally eaten quite a lot in society that are more harmful for our gut health? We're talking about dairy, gluten, the things that are popping up.
They're going to be the most dangerous ones. Anything with high fructose that's not fruit, anything that's not...
High fructose corn syrup?
Basically drinks that are water.
Yeah, lots of fizzy drinks, that kind of thing. It's pretty much anything that's not...
They bring it,
Yeah, anything that's pretty much made by us or packaged.
Yeah. If it's got a food label on it, it's probably not food.
Yeah. But it's
either it's fruit or meat.
It's like what you're talking about in the other video. You want to make sure that you're eating to your ancestry. So where your ancestors were living, the type of food that was accessible within that area, that's the sort of food that you should be eating on a daily basis. That's the type of food that you eat gets broken down by a specific type of bacteria in your body. So if you're feeding yourself a certain amount of food, you're going to grow a certain type of bacteria. If you've got the wrong type of bacteria feeding on, say, like all the sugar or something that you're eating from lollies or fizzy drinks, then it's going to produce all this bad shit that's going to poison your body.
I try to just, I really just try to listen to my body's responses and my brain's responses.
The best way to do it.
My brain's was like...
Trust your instincts.
Big time, man. Certain foods I can kind of feel it slow my head down a wee bit. Funnily enough, although I really enjoy them, bananas, I don't think they hugely agree with me, which is a real shame because I bloody enjoy them. But I always feel a little bit, like my guts do feel a little funny, just, on bananas, which sucks because I like them. Pardon?
Fructose maybe?
I'm not a big fruit eater. I don't crave fruit. Never been a big fruit eater, but I really. But I do like an apple, but I'll have one small apple, and my body says I've had enough. Like I'm satisfied.
Just doesn't
with a little
sit
apple.
well.
But the apple I don't find fine. Apples I find fine, quite clean. I quite like them because I feel like I'm brushing my teeth. And I don't mind them, but I one little apple in my body. It says you've had enough, like in terms of cessation. It's like you've had enough.
To me, it feels like you're burning almost, or your stomach feels agitated. I'm just not a fan of the really, really sweet or acidic fruits that irritate me as well.
I don't eat very much. Like I have my daughter will smash a couple of mandarins. I'll have one little one and I'm good.
I'll eat a mango. That's probably it.
What are your thoughts on diversity in foods that we're eating for diversity?
I actually think diversity creates just as much issues.
Yeah,
I really do.
This is
because if we think about our individual requirements, the larger we spread, the higher incidence of interacting with things that give us issue just as much as isolating. Because what's the number one thing we do when we want to discover foods that bode well with us? We cancel things out, we isolate. So diversity, absolutely, but we're also extremely adaptable. Like our body is built to survive. Yeah, that's right. Is it dangerous? No. Is it optimal health? No. You know, so it's both.
I think in large part people don't start experiencing food allergies or intolerance until, you know, the age of 20, 25, 30.
Yeah.
A lot of the time people start experiencing it then. So maybe if you're stuck to the same type of foods for a long time throughout your upbringing, you'll set the tone for what, you know, gut bacteria you have within the body. Then all of a sudden you start introducing new things, the body's not going to like it. But
also,
what if we made diverse from day dot?
Well, if we look at the rise of allergies, it's really been kind of like the last 50 years, you know, primarily. That's been the growth of the sugar industry.
Getting earlier as well.
I'm agree. I have a lot of people I know that 20 to 25 that start experiencing adverse response. Again, I think it always returns down to lifestyle. I think that they've been eating breads and fast foods and fish and chip Fridays for a long time, and then the body is just eventually going, nah, you've actually eaten a lot of shit for a long time. And then you go through your teens and late adolescence, early adulthood, where there's going to be a high incidence of poor sleep, stressful relationships, alcohol, or just that's an extremely stressful time. So do I think it's the food and allergens? No, I think it's causation.
There's always variables.
I think yeah. Do you maybe have some sensitivities to this? Yes. Would those sensitivities may have become worse had you not lived like that? Maybe not, because we're adaptable. Your body can probably actually, I can manage that. Okay.
I always think there's so many hundreds of different herbs, spices, roots, nuts, seeds. There's so many different types of foods that you could be introducing into your system that may increase the diversity in the gut bacteria, and that may help to sway your intolerance.
Well, there's not actually that much diversity in food out there that we can eat. The only reason that we feel like we've got a lot of diversity is because we create our own foods and then we package them. So it's like we've got the green one, we've got the blue one, we've got the yellow one.
For a very long time, most populations ate a pretty limited diet. That's the truth. That's
just
the
like
reality.
every other animal out there.
But the only reason we eat food diversity is globalization. That's it. We move all this food around that we don't need. That isn't adding to our health. It's adding to our abundance and our disease abundance based.
I'm thinking if you could have a more diverse range of good foods and cut the high fructose corn syrup out, cut the high sugar content and the really saturated fats that the body's not made to digest, it doesn't understand what's coming into the system. Then maybe we could, because I keep thinking, how can we get people that are intolerant to gluten or dairy back to the point where they can have those foods and not suffer?
It has to be a good source first, and then you'd have to make sure that all the other variables are fine. Because you probably can. Like sometimes, say like with myself, I'll have like a piece of bread and it'll make my eyes hurt, I'll feel sleepy, I'll feel really agitated, and sometimes I'm fine.
And I understand why people decide to commit to a diet, right? I understand why I'm going to go paleo or keto. I understand why they do that, because it just eliminates that, here you go, I eat this stuff, and there's no issue with it, there really isn't. Incidence of like health improvement for people who go paleo and keto is generally pretty good, it really is. Do I believe in pure keto? Fuck no. You should not be eating 80 to 90% fat. That's terrible. It's not terrible. You can function off it.
Long term, probably not.
Long term, it's a bit rough.
Just opportunistic. Like if you have access to fatty foods, then you eat it.
It's fat.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Not all the time.
Fat is fuel source. I think we'd all agree that that's completely fine.
Just not all the time.
Just not into perpetuity. Some people function really. Some people function better on it.
I think medical science and technology is going to get better and better at measuring individual microbiomes and seeing what what makes us different? What bacteria do I have that you don't, vice versa?
Absolutely.
And how does that affect what we're intolerant to?
Yeah, have you heard about how they do the feces transplants?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
You can take the shit from one person who's healthy, and then you can put it into the colon of another person who's not. You can make you can make obese people lose weight. You can make people have better gut health. All because pretty much just taking the bacteria that was in one person and putting it in another.
And have you heard about how it's when you're born, when you're coming out of your mother's reproductive organs, that's when you get a lot of the bacteria passed on into your system, which creates your microbiome for the future.
Yeah,
and
same with the
people
breast milk. You're giving them a lot of the antibodies which they use.
For those that have C-sections, they still make sure to wipe the baby's head and body on the reproductive organs. How interesting is that?
Yeah.
In showing if you don't, you're so much more likely to mental health risk, obese, a range of different health ailments in the future.
Challenges here. Yeah. In terms of gut health, I think the primary is there are macro things that are just obvious. Just remove, if possible, refined carbohydrates.
It always
really
comes
is.
the same thing.
It comes back to the same shit. Don't eat as much. The two largest markers are your refined carbohydrate and your energy intake. You reduce those significantly, your health will just fire up.
Yeah.
That really is that simple. And don't blame food, blame everything. You're lying to yourself if you're just like, oh, I have this, I have that. So no, you've been in this. That's victimology and blaming. Address your lifestyle. Am I happy in my work, my relationships, my sleep? Do I actually see nature and get outside?
Have you learned how to breathe?
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah, I agreed. Half the physical exercise we do is really our means to connect with some sort of breathing. Right? Yeah.
Go for a run outside.
Yeah.
Go
Sit
for a
for
run,
a few
man.
boxes.
Go get some long distance cardio. Makes you feel amazing.
Yeah.
If you can, yes.
Yeah.
If you're big, don't destroy yourself. But if you can run,
First, get the range of motion in your main joints.
just move.
It's a process.
Yeah, sure. That'll do. Sure.
Jordan.